Some of the rules a broker must follow when establishing and operating a trust account are in ARS 32-2151. Other key points of this statute. A broker's trust account is the only other vehicle a broker has to handle client funds if the broker is not using a neutral escrow depository. An escrow account is a logical option for property sales, but it is often less suitable for rentals and property management, as most title companies do not want to handle rental funds. ARS 32-2151A. If a broker has multiple deposits to make today as a result of several transactions, each deposit must be on a separate deposit slip. That deposit slip must show the critical data of the transaction, such as the names of the parties and the address of the property. Most brokers use deposit slips that have 2 or more duplicate sheets. ARS 32-2151B1. Following generally accepted accounting principles, GAP, the broker must maintain a ledger or journal that is far more descriptive than you or I would have in our personal checking account ledger, since each entry must have the names of the parties and the address of the property. ARS 32-2151B2. The broker must reconcile the trust account monthly, and it must match the corresponding client ledger, showing all funds held in trust for the client. For a property manager handling multiple clients, each owning multiple properties, the monthly reconciliation and ledger verification can be a time-consuming yet necessary process. ARS 32-2151B2. The trust account may earn interest, and the broker must withdraw the interest at least once a year. What happens to the accumulated interest? That interest belongs to the broker, so the broker is free to use those funds. ADRE permits this practice because it would be difficult to determine what belongs to each client who has funds in the account. ARS 32-2151B2. The trust account may include up to $3,000 of the broker's personal or corporate funds, increased from $500 by a statutory change in 2012. The statute allows the broker to do this to assist in maintaining a minimum monthly or average daily balance. This might be necessary to avoid service charges on the account, such as monthly fees, check printing costs, or limits on deposits, or check writing. Some banks waive such fees when the balance is higher than a certain amount, and many banks have fees if you write more than a certain number of checks per month. Even though this appears to be commingling where a licensee mixes client funds with the personal funds, this is one statutory exception. ARS 32-2151B2. As technology advances and the banking industry evolves, it is now possible that the broker might do her general and even her trust account banking out of state. The Arizona statutes allow the broker some latitude when storing records out of state, and in this case in holding client funds out of state. If the broker wishes to establish and maintain a trust account out of state, that is possible as long as the broker obtains permission in writing from the landlord and tenant. The broker would need to do this in every lease and every property management agreement. ARS 32-2151C1 and 2. Complaints to ADRE regarding property management are at an all-time high, mostly with cases in which money held in trust disappeared or cannot be accounted for. While that might include simple and innocent accounting errors, most shortages are due to some person wrongly taking funds from the account. Some of those complaints include brokerages and licensees who claim they are not managing properties, but by their actions they are. ADRE is conducting in-person field audits and will often show up unannounced. This is typically based on a complaint from a tenant or landlord regarding money. 32-2151. Disposition of funds. Trust money, deposit requirements. A. Unless otherwise provided in writing by all parties to a transaction, any licensed real estate broker who does not immediately place all funds entrusted to the broker, in the broker's capacity as a real estate broker, in a neutral escrow depository in this state, shall upon receipt place all such funds in a trust fund account, in a federally insured or guaranteed account, in a depository located in this state. The Commissioner may adopt such rules as are necessary to provide for records to be maintained and the manner in which such trust fund account deposits may be made. B. The following minimum requirements apply to each broker's trust fund account. 1. The broker shall make deposits to trust fund accounts by deposit slips. Receipts or other documentation shall identify each transaction, the date, and the amount of each deposit, and the names of parties involved in the transaction represented by the deposit, and monies shall be used only for the purpose for which the monies were deposited. 2. The broker shall retain a complete record of all monies received in connection with a real estate transaction in the main or branch office of the designated broker in this state or at an off-site storage location in this state if the broker provides prior written notification of the street address of the off-site storage location to the department. A broker's records shall be kept according to generally accepted accounting principles and shall include a properly descriptive receipt, disbursement journal, and client ledger. The broker shall keep any computerized records in a manner allowing reconstruction in the event of destruction of electronic data. The broker shall maintain a trust fund account, bank reconciliation, and client ledger balance on a monthly basis, and shall remove any interest earned on a trust fund account at least once every 12 months. A broker shall not permit advance payment of monies belonging to others to be deposited in the broker's personal account or to be commingled with personal monies. It is not considered commingling if, when establishing a trust fund account, a broker deposits monies not exceeding $3,000 to keep the account open or to avoid charges for an insufficient minimum balance. C. An agreement to place monies entrusted to the broker in a depository that is located outside of this state is valid if all parties to the transaction agree in writing, and either 1. The monies are placed in a property management trust account established pursuant to Section 32(2174), and a. The account is federally insured or guaranteed. b. The property management agreement contains I. The disclosure that the department's regulatory protections of the owner's monies may be significantly hampered. The disclosure that the owner may not have access to or any control over the trust account, except to audit and review the status of the account. G. An addendum that has the signed authorization by an appropriately empowered official of the depository in which the trust account is placed, stating that the trust account and all related documentation will be open to examination by the department and the owner. 2. If the monies are not deposited in a property management trust account, the broker discloses to the parties to the transaction that potential risks may accrue as a result of depositing the monies in a depository outside this state. D. This section shall not be construed to allow a broker to commingle monies entrusted to the broker with the broker's own monies unless the Commissioner adopts rules that allow commingling.